Hi guys, it's Dominika, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm doing the second part of the video I did a long time before, like a really long time ago, all the way in June. I did 20 Polish names for girls, so it makes sense that now it's time for boys. And I made myself a list of names and I was supposed to do 20, but then I got 23 and I was like, okay, I won't be cutting them out, let's just like leave it like this. So 23 boy names coming your way, and just like last time, many names will be international names that you've heard before, or perhaps very similar to the English names, but I like those names. So that's what's happening. And by the way, do you ever have these mornings when you wake up and you look at your room and you're like, I have to clean it, otherwise I go crazy? Okay, just me. Anyway, I had this morning today, I woke up and I was like, I do the laundry, and that's why my bed is like this. It's laundry time and my whole room, everything behind the camera is just a mess, but I just felt like I have to clean up today, and that's what I'm doing. And I also felt energy to do this video, and I was like, yes, it's been a really long time, way overdue, so let's do it. And if you enjoyed this video, then please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I am a small YouTuber, so everything is appreciated. Okay, and I'm gonna, you know, shut up now and like let's go on with the video. So the first name is Daniel, and okay, I know the name is nothing unusual. Daniel, you've heard it before. Actually, it comes from Hebrew, I think. Like all of those names come from like Latin or Hebrew, so they sort of have a common meaning. But Daniel, of course, it's a name in Polish, but also it's an animal. It's kind of like a deer type of looking thing right over here. So yeah, that has like a double meaning, and I think it's a beautiful name. The next name is Emil, and I really like it so much. Probably it's from French, but I think it has a very like a sensitive vibe to it. When I think of Emil, I think of like an artsy guy, maybe a painter or something, like that's a vibe to it, but I really like it. The next name is Fabian. Fabian for sure from French, but I really like it. I think I like French based names overall. That's like the vibe that I'm gonna have here. Next name, Philip. Again, Philip, name that you heard a bunch of times before, but I guess the spelling is different. In English you would have P and H, here it's like with F, so yes, but French based and beautiful name, and it became really popular in Poland in recent years. So another name, quite French sounding, but I promise there will be more of like more traditional Polish names. But the next name is Gabriel, and I love this name so much. Gabriel, again, French, you know, coming from French, from Latin I guess, but beautiful name, and the shorter version would be Gabrish. And I think it's just so cute to have a little baby boy Gabrish running around. Beautiful, I love it. Okay, next name, a little bit more traditional, HENRYK. You know, Henry in English, but HENRYK, it has a Polish vibe to it, and in recent years like older names become fashionable again, so it's a name that I would picture grandparents, great-grandparents having, but it's coming back these days, HENRYK. So Colin Firth, I don't know if you know it, but Colin Firth, I don't know, like I'll put a picture of the guy. He actually has a baby with like a Polish actress, and they named the baby HENRYK, so you know. Then the next name, HUBERT. Maybe it's also from French, I don't really know, but I really like it so much, HUBERT. I never actually met anyone with that name, never had any boy with that name in my class or anything, but I saw it in movies, so it's an actual name. Then next name, JAKUB. And of course, JAKUB. Very popular name, everyone knows it, but in Polish it's JAKUB. Very traditional name, but I think it's this type of name where when you have a baby, you call him Kubuś, you know, little baby Kubuś, but then when he grows old, he's Mr. JAKUB, and it still sounds professional and good. And I feel like that's really important with choosing names, that you have to think about like all the stages in life, that when he's a baby, it sounds cute, but then when he moves on to like his career, it sounds good as well. Next name, Julian. And I love the name, again, French name. I should probably stop saying French names because they're all French, but you know, Julian. And it reminds me, there's this cartoon, penguins from Madagascar. I don't know how it is in English, but there's this cartoon, and the lemur is actually named Julian, so that's what the name reminds me of, Julian. But you know, shorter version Julek, I think it's a beautiful name. Next name, KACPER, and it reminds me of like this little ghost, KACPER, you know, in English, but in Polish it's KACPER. Popular name, but I don't know, it has like a nice ring to it, KACPER. Next name, KAJETAN, and that's my best friend's husband name. but it's a nice name, KAJETAN. I think it sounds very sophisticated, but then you would call KAJETAN Kajtek, and that's like the, you know, little boy's name, so I like it, you know, baby Kajtek, but then Mr. KAJETAN, sounds good. Next name, KAMIL. I really like this name. In my previous video I talked about Kamila, now we have Kamil, so there's a male version of it, and that's the case for really many names in Poland, that you have a male version and then you add a to it and you have a female version. So for example, this is Kamil, Kamila, but my name, Dominika, there's a name Dominik, so many names are created this way. Just slap an A and it's a female name. So next name, Leon, and it's again an older name, but I think it has such a nice ring to it. Leon, like Leon is a guy you would definitely respect. Leon, Mr. Leon, sounds good. And the next name is kind of in a similar vibe. It's called Lev, and I've never heard anyone being named this way, Lev, but Lev actually means lion in Polish, so I love the meaning of this name. It's such a powerful name, but I don't think in Poland I would choose my baby this way, because Lev, although it's a Polish name, I just never met anyone with this name, so I feel like it would be a little bit controversial maybe to name a child this way. But I know many of you are like foreigners, like international, I don't know, Americans, British, foreigners, yes, foreigners looking for the Polish name. Maybe in Poland I wouldn't name my child that way, but Lev is definitely Polish and it's beautiful, so meaning is also great. Then the next name, Maximilian, very, very pretty. Max, obviously, and you know, again, nothing crazy original, but I think Maximilian is a very manly name. I really feel like, you know, Mr. Max, Mr. Maximilian. Yes. The next name, Marcel. I don't know, it's a name that like when I was sort of small I never really met anyone with that name, but then when I became older I realized there's quite a few boys from like my age zone with this name, so it's like a younger one, Marcel, Marcys, Marcelek, I don't know, but it has a really nice ring to it. Okay, next name, that's definitely really Polish, Mateusz. I knew a lot of Mateushes my day, like when I was in elementary school there was one in my class, and then I think in middle school was there, I don't know. I've heard that name a lot, Mateusz, and of course it's also internationally Mateo, like you know that, but Mateusz, very, very pretty. And what I really like is that the shorter version of name Mateusz is Mati, so I think that's really cute because you have Mr. Mateusz and it sounds very, very like strong, but then you call him Mati, so I think that's like a cute thing. Next name, Nikodem. It's also one of the younger names. I feel I knew only one guy with that name, so it's not super common, but I really like Nikodem. Sounds really good, and for a really long time I thought that that's how I'm gonna name my child someday, you know, Nikodem. I really like it. And there was like this movie, Kariera, Nikodema, Dyzmy. It was just a Polish movie, so I think about this guy when I hear that name. Next name, Olivier. Okay, very international name. By the way, I'm really sorry about the light, but I always use natural lighting, not lightning, natural lighting, and that often happens, that gets dark, then gets like really bright and stuff, so you know, au naturel, baby. So yes, Olivier. It's also a new name in Poland, but I think the spelling, that's like what's making it a little bit more Polish. That is with a W. We don't use V's in Poland, we use W's, so that's it. I never actually met, I think, anyone with that name, but I like Olivier, the sound of it. And also many, like as I say, like Olivier is a name that I think in Poland people would still be a little bit like, maybe it depends on where you live. Like in bigger cities, Olivier is like a totally normal name, but maybe if you're like in a small village and you name a child Olivier, people would be a little bit like, what? Okay, next name, PATRYK. And again, of course, PATRYK. Everyone knows PATRYK, but I really like PATRYK, our Polish version of it. And again, it's like a name that is totally normal for the baby and teenager to have, and then like Mr. PATRYK, that sounds very respectable. I like the ring to it. Next name, Sebastian. That's a name you've heard before, but in Polish. It's actually quite funny because like it has bad association in Poland, because in your name Sebastian you would say Seba for shorter, and Seba is like this guy in the neighborhood that would walk around and be like Seba, like the, you know, I don't actually know how to explain it, but it's just something that like some people would like tease you about, Seba, but I really love the name Sebastian. And I dated one guy from Romania, and he told me that in Romania for Sebastian you say Basti, and I think that's a really cute shortening of it, although not really something you would do in Poland, but you know. The next name I put on the list, not because I actually ever thought about using that name for any of my children, but I think it's just that that's the name that you really should think. you should think twice before you name your child this way. And the name is SZCZEPAN. And I think it's, you know, Polish sounds on the beginning. So I think if you name your child this way, it's not gonna be easy for anyone else to pronounce, you know. And there are some names like this, for example, yeah, SZCZEPAN, as I brought in. But then I have a friend named Jedrzej, and you know, we live in Denmark, so no one can pronounce it. So I think that's like an issue with some of those names, and that's why those are the names that I would not choose for my kids, because I'm quite international, so I want people to be able to pronounce the names, or at least, you know, quite easy. But yeah, SZCZEPAN is definitely not one of those names. And the last name that actually I have for you is TEODOR. Okay, again, you know, but I think it's just so beautiful, TEODOR, and then you would shorten it to TEODOR. And I think that's just so cute and so beautiful and like, oh my god. And I think that's like a general thing, that many of those names you sort of heard before, and they have quite international ring to it, but then we can shorten it up in a very cute Polish way, which you can do vast majority of the Polish names. So, and that's everything that I prepared for you today, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you haven't seen the girls version of it, it's popping right over here right now. And I just think it's so nice that so many of you is interested in Polish names. And I know some people texted me saying that, oh, their grandfather was Polish, so they're looking into some Polish names to get the tradition going. And I think this is just so cute. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave it a like and subscribe to my channel. And I hope that you have a very, very, very wonderful day, and I hope to see you again in one of my videos. Bye bye.